How can any of us forget the story of JJ Jameson, who was arrested on March 22nd, 2005, after it was discovered that his real name was Norman Porter, and that for 20 long years he had been a fugitive from the law. Even though his mugshot appeared on America's Most Wanted, Norman Porter was able to hide within the Chicago poetry scene, and he even became ChicagoPoetry.com's Poet of the Month just prior to his arrest. In the weeks prior to his arrest, he was featured at Coffee Chicago Poetry Venue, hosted by John Stars, and at a poetry cram at the Bourbon Cafe. Norman Porter, a.k.a. JJ Jameson, is the author of the book Mrs. Rutherford's Cauliflower, published by Pudd'nhead Press. It is unclear if his arrest arose due to an anonymous tip, as it was reported widely in the media, or by random computerized fingerprint checks. But apparently Mr. Porter was arrested a couple of times over the years in Chicago, once for drunk driving and another time for bouncing a check, and his fingerprints were on file. By matching the fingerprints, the FBI was able to determine that J.J. Jameson was actually Norman Porter of Boston, Massachusetts, that he was convicted of a double homicide 40 years ago, and that he escaped from prison twice, and that he was on the lam for over 20 years in the Chicago poetry scene. In one prison break, he smuggled a gun into a cell, which was later used by one of his partners to murder one of the prison guards. Porter was also convicted of murdering a 20-year-old man who he apparently shot at close range with a sawed-off shotgun during a robbery. In a statement on ePoets, video poet Kurt Heinz said he regretted publishing Jameson, calling Jameson a myth. Norman Porter took his arrest pretty lightly, telling police he had a good 20 years and offering to sign copies of his book for them.